Welcome to a world that's strange but interesting, where we find hidden surprises in lesser-known museums. Have you ever thought about strange, unique or weird items waiting to be found? Museums are like treasure boxes full of history, culture and odd things. There are even more treasures hidden in lesser-known museums. Today we're going to show you 10 of these amazing places. At the 10th spot, we travel to Japan, to the Momofuku Ando Instant Ramen Museum. This museum in the middle of the busy city honors Japan's food creativity. It's named after Momofuku Ando, the man who made instant noodles. The moment you walk in, you can smell spices, soup and noodles. The displays tell the story of how a quick, easy meal changed the way we eat all over the world. The walls are covered in packets and cups from different times, showing how the designs have changed. Here, people don't just learn about instant noodles, they get a feel for it. This is a deep look into the world of instant noodles, showing how a quick, easy meal has become famous worldwide. Here you'll learn about the story of instant noodles, a simple food that has become part of the world's food culture. Next up, at number 9, we explore the spooky Parisian catacombs. It's a big surprise compared to the bright and lively city above. This scary underground maze, almost lost to time, quietly holds the remains of millions of people. Each bone, skull and piece tells a part of the city's stormy history. When we travel through its twisty tunnels and dark spots, it's clear how much history lies under the busy streets above. This adventure takes us below the surface, showing the different parts of Paris's deep history. It's a serious and eye-opening trip through the city's past. As we go deeper, we're surrounded by a quietness that shares stories of the millions who lived before us. Their stories imprinted in the stones of this spooky maze. This is a quiet reminder of the city's past. Our 8th stop is in the United States, at a special place in Massachusetts called the Museum of Bad Art. This amazing place celebrates artists whose work may not be typically thought of as beautiful. Here, art that some people might think is bad, is loved, cared for, and shown for everyone to see. This museum believes that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The Museum of Bad Art is a place of understanding and welcomes everyone. It reminds us that not everyone sees art in the same way. 7. The British Lawnmower Museum is in the small town of Southport, England. This interesting museum is all about lawnmowers, not the typical museum subject. It has a lot of old lawnmowers, each one with its own special history. People who visit the museum can see old machines that have been kept in great condition, and some really strange and clever devices. The British Lawnmower Museum isn't just a place to look at things, it's a place that celebrates lawnmowers. This fun place honors the simple lawnmower by showing off a lot of old machines and weird gadgets. At 6, we visit the Sulabh International Museum of Toilets in Delhi, India. This isn't just any museum, it's a special place that shows how an important part of human life, keeping clean, has changed over time. The museum smartly tells the story of cleanliness and keeping healthy from the first time people came together to live, right up to today. From the very basic toilets of long ago, you're taken on an amazing trip through history. You'll see clever ways of dealing with waste, be impressed by old plumbing, and learn about how cleanliness has affected society over the years. Each display grabs your attention, making it clear how important keeping clean is. That's what makes the museum special. It turns a normal topic into an interesting trip. The museum gives a different view on history, asking its visitors to think about the interesting details of something as everyday as toilets. It's a way of saying, well done to human cleverness, toughness, and our never-ending wish for better living conditions. This museum takes you from old toilets to the wonders of modern plumbing. In the middle of our trip, at number 5, we take a historic side trip to Germany, specifically in the center of Berlin. We find ourselves at the popular Deutsches Currywurst Museum. This museum is a special place dedicated to Berlin's favorite local food. It's not just a museum, but a place where you can experience the city's food history. It tells the story of Currywurst, a spiced sausage that is an important part of Berlin's food culture. Here you'll learn all about this tasty sausage's history. At 4, we move from food to dreams, stepping into the unique Mutter Museum located in the center of Philadelphia, USA. This is more than a museum. It's a place where questions, science, and history meet. The Mutter Museum, unknown to many, is a famous medical museum dedicated to the interesting, educational, and sometimes surprising aspects of human bodies and medical past. It holds a broad range of strange objects. You'll see old medical tools kept safe over the years, showing how medical care has changed. Plus, it holds a variety of unusual human features, highlighting the different and complex parts of the human body. The Mutter Museum is a site that helps us value the progress of medical tools while building a sense of amazement at the wonders of human bodies. This medical museum has a variety of strange objects, from old medical tools to unusual human features. Number 3 is the Avanos Hair Museum in Turkey. It's in the middle of the country, surrounded by hills and busy markets. The museum isn't in a big fancy building or a modern art-filled one. It's actually in a small pottery shop. This museum has an unusual collection of hair samples. These samples were given by thousands of women from all over the world. Each hair sample has its own special story. Some hairs stand for a journey, a personal story, a shared laugh, or even a tear. This strange museum is a mix of personal stories from all over. In a nutshell, it's a small pottery shop in Turkey where you can see hair samples from thousands of women, each telling a different story. Our next to last stop at number 2 is the Cancun Underwater Museum in Mexico. This amazing site in the middle of the Caribbean shows how creative people can be and how we can work well with nature. With more than 500 statues, these large, lifelike figures are all under the beautiful blue water. Each statue tells an exciting story, showing what Mexican culture and history are all about. When you dive under the water, you enter a new world. This underwater museum is not just a place to see art, but a place that gives you an amazing, real-life experience. It's a special example of the beauty of the natural world and human cleverness. This museum gives you an experience you won't find anywhere else. At number 1, we have the Museum of Broken Relationships in Zagreb, Croatia. This special museum reminds us of how love can be both delicate and strong. It shows us the reality of heartbreak and how we cope with it. Every display has an item from a relationship that didn't work out, along with a story. These are not just things, but reminders of love's ups and downs. Each item has its own story of love and heartbreak, showing us human emotions at their most real. This museum gives us a deeper look into broken relationships. It shows us personal keepsakes from these relationships, each with their own story of sadness and recovery. From quick cook noodles to art under the sea, these 10 uncommon museums give you a special look at the interesting, the odd, and the often overlooked. Each place displays a mix of odd things, each item and show demonstrating human cleverness and determination. Their collections make you feel amazed and thoughtful, taking you on a trip away from the usual route. Their doors welcome you into areas that test, bringing you into rarely visited places. They reveal stories waiting to be listened to, and tales waiting to be shared. So if you're ever nearby, why not go a different way from the usual path? You might just find a world you never knew was there. And before we close, we'd like to remind you to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this with your friends and family. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with our fascinating new content and become part of an ever-growing community of explorers just like you. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us on this extraordinary journey of exploration. Until next time, keep discovering.